On Walking Our Shoes, someone asked me a while ago if I could go through an IVF cycle, and at the time I couldn't because we have been and we've done IVF and we're not doing it again. But I went into the loft today and tripped over some boxes and found all of our old IVF medication. So I thought I'd try and go through this. Excuse it, it's unscripted, and I'm still a bit dumbstruck by all of this. It's a bit hard to look at, but let's see where we get to. See if I can remember what order and what we did, just to give you an idea, if you haven't already been through this, what an IVF cycle is. So this is a full IVF cycle. That means that we've gone from egg collection through to embryo fertilization and embryo transfer. And in our case, we had a positive pregnancy test, but sadly later had a miscarriage. Start over here. So this box is an intralipid infusion. This is one intralipid infusion in here. I had two in the run up to egg collection, which is basically done to help with stabilising the pregnancy, and is part of the process called Chicago testing. Chicago testing isn't normally available, I don't think, on the NHS. It's a more basic cycle than this. This is actually a private cycle that we pay for ourselves. So this is intralipids, which is like a soybean oil. It's meant to remove protein, I think. That's the rather large bag of sodium chloride. There's another bag of that somewhere in here too. There we go. It's the same. And all of the pipes and bits, and take that out of there. That doesn't belong in there. There's all the pipes, bits, stuff, love that goes with that. So that's one intralipid infusion in there. So I was having that. At the same time, I was injecting myself with this over here, which is Clexane. There's quite a lot of vials there. Some of them are empty. Those are the ones I've used. These ones will be waiting for me to take had the pregnancy have progressed. And it's the same with that pack there. That's the needle. And this would have been one of the syringes. There's quite a lot of syringes over in that bag there. That was two bags there of different bits of paraphernalia. Somewhere around here we go, Emla cream, which is a numbing cream. I was putting that on in the loos at work and then getting the train home an hour before I took the injections when it got towards the end, because it got very sore. I was doing 2 injections a day, and you have to use one of these pads over the top. You give yourself the injections. It's not done with a doctor or anything like that. You learn how to inject yourself quite quickly with things like this and get over needle phobia. Some alcohol wipes just there as well. So that all belongs together. I also carried a steroid card because I was taking steroids, and that was carried at all times. This is a Prognova pill. So basically pill. I'm taking that because you're going into like a false menopausal state. There's some more syringes there. More syringes, more needles. Once I was pregnant, I was taking glycerin, which is a really horrible steroid. It's horrid. Taking more of the Clexane. I think I was taking these Clexane, actually, injections. So one of these needles over here belongs to those syringes. I was also taking vitamin D because IVF depletes your vitamin D supply and your calcium. And then this as well, which again I think that's a steroid. and gestone injections. So the gestone injections are done in the back. They are it says just there, intramuscular injections. And my husband had to do those, and they were done with the green needles just here. What's those? There's a pregnancy test over there, which I'm going to skip over. I don't want to talk about that. That's too much to talk about today. And this is the sharps tin, so that's full of all the needles that I took up to the point that we realised that the pregnancy test, or rather we'd miscarried. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what an IVF cycle is. It's not one that the NHS offer, and it's not one that's under danger of being cut because it's a private one, but it's very similar to the cycle that you might take on an IV on the NHS. And obviously it's not really my definition of a luxury, as some people have said in some of the funding. It's quite painful, it's quite difficult to talk about, but hopefully it's given you an understanding. Thank you.